And now the hot seat, and here's your host, Melva Williams.
Welcome to the hot seat with me, Melva Williams. I am very excited because this week's guest is Dr. Brandon Dumas from Southern University in Baton Rouge. He's the Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs and Enrollment Management. Dr. Dumas, welcome to my show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
I'm so glad to have you all the way here from Shreveport. And for the audience, they need to know, he is not the camera guy, but he is doing this because he loves Southern University. And one thing I know about you is that if I were to slice this arm, I would imagine that blue and gold would go pouring out. Is that correct?
Right. You're probably right. Probably correct.
So tell me a little bit about how you came to love Southern University.
Well, Southern University has always been a part of my family. My parents both are graduates of Southern University. Early on, I was introduced to Southern University through the laboratory school. I started attending the laboratory school in the 4th grade, which of course, is located on the campus of Southern University. At the time, the university had a very strong connection with the lab school. Most of our teachers and student teachers were products of the university. So Southern University has always been a part of who I am. You know, when I grew up, I always tell people when I'm out recruiting, like on trips like today, in my home, it wasn't if you go to college, it was when you go to Southern University.
When you go to Southern University.
That, it was always clear, you know, that our money is going to Southern University, so you may as well follow that. And I've been there working now went there through undergraduate, got an associate's and a bachelor's from Southern.
Wow.
So I always tell people I am because Southern is, and Southern has contributed greatly to my life and my family's life, and I'm appreciative.
Yeah, and your wife is a Southern University graduate.
My kids are now keeping the tradition alive. They're both enrolled at Southern Lab, so it's a family affair.
And one special person in your life that I just adore tremendously is your dad. Right. he has such a vast background. Tell the audience a little bit about the judge.
My dad is Walter Dumas. He recently retired. He's an attorney in Baton Rouge, but all of his life also, he came to Southern University in 1962 from Ascension Parish. He rode the bus every day, school bus from Ascension to Baton Rouge.
Wow.
Then went on to graduate from Southern University Law Center. Became the first African-American judge in the city of Baton Rouge.
Wow.
Later appointed to the first Southern University Board of Supervisors in 1975.
The first board?
The very first Board of Supervisors.
Okay, I had no idea that was
and
that
then
that
recently
happened.
he
That's awesome.
served another 6-year term that ended in 2012, if I'm not mistaken.
And he has been a great contributor to Southern, along with others. So many others love the university.
He always says, you know, that you can love something and not do. You can do for something and not love it, but it's very hard to love something and not do for it. And that's how he demonstrates his recent contributions and support of Southern University.
You know, as the trend of HBCUs, you know, there's so many conversations about the importance of HBCUs and if they're still relevant. I'd like to submit that, you know, they are. And Southern University has been a beacon of light for so many students. And I know you guys are here in Shreveport recruiting students. What do you think is the biggest draw for students at Southern? You know, as they're choosing colleges, there's so many out there, and I know that last fall, was one of the highest enrollments for HBCUs in general. I mean, just overall. What do you think is the biggest draw for students at Southern Baton Rouge?
At Southern, we pride ourselves. Our mantra is excellence, pride, and tradition. Of course, the university is, you know, we offer, I think, student life experience that's second to none, but more importantly, we have sound academic programs. We were here in the city today recruiting, and I try to, as we craft these tours and go around and tell the story, you know, try to suggest that when people see Southern University, oftentimes it's the human jukebox.
That's right.
It's an athletic program, you know, winning SWAC championships, but Southern University exists to provide quality education to students, and all of that other stuff is extra. We appreciate it, but we keep academics at the core of our mission, and I think that if I had to say one thing, it was the quality of our academic programs and the nurturing faculty and staff that we provide. You know, you're not a number, you're a person.
Absolutely.
It's a family environment, and that's what Southern University offers that I would say sets us apart from our peers and HBCUs in general.
Yeah, and you know, another unique, I guess, aspect of Southern is that we're the only HBCU system in the nation.
That's correct.
Yeah, so talk a little bit about how that dynamic is with the system and the campuses and?
Well, we always say that we're favored in Baton Rouge. Our system office is also headquartered on the Baton Rouge campus. So, we are the flagship of the system. But, as we've worked through challenges in higher ed, as admission standards have changed, it's been beneficial for us to be a part of this system. For example, the Suzzler Connect program that allows us to have students who may not meet the admissions criteria for a four-year institution in the state. We're able to admit them through our community college and have them create a direct pipeline to one of our four-year institutions, either Southern in Baton Rouge or Southern in New Orleans. So that's one of the many advantages of being a part of this system.
Yeah, and I think that is such a unique program because so many people want to be a part of the Jaguar Nation.
Right.
I mean, we get, tons of applications, I imagine, on your campus.
Sure, we do.
And some students, especially with the change in, education, K through 12, I mean, there's so much blame to go around. But we know that a lot of times, students have a need for education, and sometimes they haven't quite done all that they need to do to, have that, to be prepared and to be able to have the rigor of Southern University education. So the Southern University Shreveport community college allows that. So any student, if you're out there, you can get into Southern.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, you can go and experience the campus and still, have an academic experience.
Right.
So,
and those students who participate in that program, they live in our facilities, they learn in our classrooms. We don't treat those students any different than we do students who are admitted through a regular track. So they're all our students. We take great pride in that. But that's a great question. That's a major benefit of being a part of a university system.
So don't get discouraged. If you didn't do it, you can still go to Southern. We're
Still have
excited about
time.
that.
That's
You
right.
still have time.
Right.
So speaking of still having time, I mean, I think it's time to start doing some things like applying and doing your FAFSA. What should students be doing today?
At this point, if you haven't applied, absolutely, it's definitely time to apply. FAFSAs need to be completed ASAP. So, most of us, finances play a major role in the decisions that we make.
Because that's the first thing. If you go to buy a car, you say how much
does it cost?
How much does it cost?
How much does it cost? So getting that FAFSA done early allows us to assess your situation, let you know what you are eligible for as it relates to Pell Grants, loans, whatever institutional scholarships that we have available.
Wow.
So it's time now to do that. And of course, do well, finish strong for the seniors who are finishing out this semester.
Right.
So we can get them in the fall.
Well, I know some students are watching and they're really excited about coming to school, but they're also really excited about student life. So what are some of the clubs and organizations that kind of really get students pumped up and that they can join as a freshman? I know some organizations you may not can just hop right in.
Of course, we discussed the Human Jukebox.
Absolutely.
It's probably the most popular student organization. They're great ambassadors for the university, so that's something that's available. Mr. Hamer and his staff work with students to represent the university in a first-class manner through the works and the efforts of the marching band. Greek life, those are some things that come along after you matriculate for a while. We have over 80 registered student organizations.
Wow.
So that's from the Black History Club, Collegian 100 Black Men, Collegian
to the
100
Biology
Black
Club
Women.
or something.
Yeah, the Biology Club, the Association of Christian Students.
Wow.
Anything. There's not there's no void as it relates to offerings of student clubs and organizations. So there are many choices that students can make and things beyond the classroom, because especially in the Division of Student Affairs, we say that we're responsible for your matriculation from application to graduation and all points in between. So we try to make sure that we offer programs and services that will make sure that students have enjoyable experience when they make the choice to come to Southern University.
Well, I'm hoping that we have a lot of you out there to make the choice to come to Southern University. It's an excellent school. Baton Rouge is a great city, right? I mean, it's an absolutely beautiful city.
Capital
a lot
city.
to do, the capital city. So give me, we're about to go to break, but tell me one thing that students would your favorite thing about Southern University.
My favorite thing about Southern University is, I would say, sitting on the bluff.
Sitting on the bluff.
Sitting on the bluff, relaxing.
It's the best view in the state.
It's the most beautiful view of the Mississippi River, I think, that exists, and certainly in Baton Rouge and in the state. Right. So that's what I enjoy.
Okay.
when days get rough, you need to just relax a little bit.
Go see the beautiful view.
Go see the beautiful view.
Well, listen, you stay right here. We're going to talk more about Southern University. We'll be right back in the hot seat with me, Melva Williams.
We'll be right back with more Hot Seat with Melva Williams.
You don't want to miss us on iKoala Radio. It's the hot seat with me, Melva Williams, 5 days a week, 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. on iKoala Radio. It's just music, baby.
Since 1985, J&S Electronics has served the architects with superior electronics from transistors, resistors, and fuses. We carry HDMI cables and a wide selection of AV cables and connectors. We also have a large supply of batteries and tools to handle your project. Need Cat 6 or CCTV systems? Call us at 318-631-8675 or come see us today at 6437 Greenwood Road.
The difference between significance and insignificance is choice, and sometimes making those choices are tough. But isn't it amazing that our past has no place in determining our future, and that where we are now doesn't have to be where we'll be forever? So I'm not focusing on where I have been. Instead, I look to where I am heading, and I'm going somewhere great, because I am Southern.
Welcome back to the hot seat with me, Melva Williams. Today we have a great show for all of you college students out there, for all of the parents out there that are making some college decisions for some students. We have the perfect show for you. We have Southern University all the way from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I have my new special guest, Raymond Clark. Raymond, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad you guys are up here from Baton Rouge. Every time I see you guys, you're hard at work, working to move Southern University forward. So I'm glad to have you here because you guys are on a college tour. Is that the case?
Yes, that's correct. As a part of our recruitment efforts for this year, we've decided to take on a college tour where we visit various cities, whether it's in the state of Louisiana or outside, in order to attract some of the better and brighter students so that they could come to Southern University.
Wow. Well, it's such a gem, Southern University is, and there's so many worthwhile programs. We talked a little bit about that, but maybe you can kind of tell us a little bit more about maybe some of the academic programs and what students will expect, you know, once they get to Southern University.
Well, once they are admitted to the university, they can expect a very nurturing environment. We believe that our family-oriented base is what attracts students and their families to return to Southern. We understand that students have many options in terms of pursuing their higher educational needs, but we set ourselves apart not just logistically by being on the bluff, but we take pride in the students that come there because we like to treat them as a part of our own family, our extended family. As it pertains to our programs, our nursing program, whether it was engineering or the College of Business, we have graduates that are employed at Fortune 500 companies throughout the nation and throughout the world. And we pride ourselves on those experiences or their experiences in order to attract the new leaders of the world.
Right. And so, you know, when you're walking on campus, and I'm going to try to, you know, give students, you know, you go over that huge hump and then you come down and there is the expansion of Southern University. I mean, it's an absolute beautiful campus. And hopefully we'll get some pictures that we can, you know, kind of put through this. Students can kind of see the campus. But, you know, talk a little bit about the facilities. I know when students are making choices, I mean, they're looking at everything from where they're going to sleep to where they're going to eat to, you know, the buildings and all of that. So talk a little bit about that.
Well, I believe that our facilities are competitive with any other institution in the state. I think what sets us apart is that we are continuously trying to improve on the facilities that we provide for our students. I think that Southern University provides the best bang for your dollar. Yeah. So we know that parents normally look at the bottom line in making the choice to send their child to school. And we feel that for the value that they will pay at Southern University, I don't think any other school could beat us. Yeah. So our facilities are on par, but we're also continuously improving that.
Yeah. So you have student housing and apartment-style living. Is that the setup?
Yes, we have a combination of the two. Residential life is really for everyone. We try to encourage everyone to experience that on campus, particularly the freshmen who are obligated to stay on campus unless they live within a 30-mile radius of the campus. We think that providing that living and learning experience for our incoming
Yeah.
freshmen puts them in a better position to succeed academically
Right.
and socially on the campus.
Yeah, because especially as a freshman, I mean, you want to be integrated, you know, so I know some students like, oh, I have to live on campus. I'm telling you, it's the way to go, because that's how you make your friends, that's how you get to know what's going on, that's how you get invited to the parties, because you have to know, you know, you have to know your peers, right?
But that's true. I think there's some reluctance for some kids their first time away from home coming on campus, and it is a learning experience for them. But the entire staff and the Division of Student Affairs and Enrollment Management, we're committed to nurturing those kids and making them feel at home. We understand that they may become homesick. They may have some challenges in terms of the changing the diet of the food. But that's something that they will learn over time and appreciate. That there's nothing better than living on campus and having that experience.
It is. I mean, and then you get to walk, you get the best parking spot during game time, right? Because you can just literally walk to the game.
well, that's true. Athletics plays a major part in our recruitment effort. And although we understand that they're there to get an education and earn a degree, we want them to experience all aspects of college life.
Absolutely.
And that includes the games, the partying,
Yes.
just the networking with people from other areas.
Yeah.
I think the diversity that we have on campus puts our students ahead of most.
Yeah. And so let's talk a little bit about, you know, as we're making decisions and we're trying to do this checklist, what do students need to be doing like right now?
Well, for the students who have not applied already to Southern University, I would recommend that they apply now.
Apply tonight, apply today.
Yes.
Do it now.
Yes, they can go to our website, www.subr.edu/admissions, and apply for admissions immediately. That will be the first step. The other thing that I
So
would
now let me stop you there. When I get to the screen, do I need to have anything with me? Do I need to have my transcript? Do I need to have, I mean, any paperwork with me to apply, or do I just need to?
No, initially we're just more concerned with them actually completing the application
Gotcha.
online.
Okay.
The application will walk them through it in terms of what additional
It's just
information.
general
you need.
information,
It is.
basic information.
And
Okay,
it's going
great.
to tell them, hey, those additional documents that you need, whether it's the final transcript, your class schedule currently, or your shot records, to go ahead and get that in, and we'll provide the mailing address to get that
To where to
information
get
in
that to.
to
Okay.
us. The other thing is that we encourage those students to follow up and check their email account that they listed on their application.
Okay.
Because a lot of times, once they do the application, our notifications to inform them of what's needed will be sent to that email
To that
address.
email address,
So we
okay.
encourage everyone who applies to continuously read their or check their email for notifications
Because you're sending
from us.
updates all the time. Just
We
say,
are.
we need this information, we need that information, so make sure you're checking your email.
Yes, because the quicker they get all the information in, we can make a decision, is the quicker we can get them acclimated to the university, whether it pertains to financial aid or housing. There's
Okay.
some additional steps that the students need to complete in order for us to get them fully admitted
Right.
and registered at the university.
Gotcha. So then I do my application, I'm checking my email, and then they get the great news. I'm admitted. Yay! Woo! I got in.
Right. So as a follow-up to that, we'll encourage all students to complete their FAFSA.
Okay. And
And
that's the free application for financial aid,
It
student
is.
assistance.
So if they go to www.fafsa.ed.gov, they can complete their financial aid application, and that will determine their eligibility for the Pell Grant, work study, subsidized loans if they need it. But there's also a prerequisite for TOPS, for students who are interested in TOPS or who may also be
Okay.
eligible.
Well, and so, you know, you have students out there that are saying, well, you know, I can't afford this. My parents don't make a lot of money. How am I going to be able to do this?
Right, so the financial aid office is committed to providing households with all of the options, whether it's receiving federal or state aid, or whether or not is a payment option per se, or simply knowing what's available.
Right.
We think a lot of times parents are a little hesitant in accepting loans because they don't understand all of the rules associated with it. But the financial aid office and staff, they're committed to providing all of the information so that these families can make informed decisions.
Yeah, because a lot of students, I mean, that are under, that, you know, whose parents don't make a lot of money, get most of the Pell and grants and all of that that's available.
That's correct. Doing the application pretty much guarantees you to get some funding. And yes, for those who are low income or in greatest need, would get the grants, the free money that is available to them.
Yeah.
So getting that application in as early as possible and completing it
Yeah.
puts you in a better position to get as much free money as possible.
Yeah, because it's just the opposite. I think some students think, well, I'm from a family that doesn't have a lot of money, I can't go to college, when it's almost just the opposite.
It
Because,
is.
Yeah, the more your parents make, the less, federal assistance that you get.
Right. And we think that educating incoming students, the freshmen and their families, is an important part in people understanding the financial aid process as a
Right.
whole. And as a follow-up to that, by completing that financial aid process, we also want to encourage all incoming freshmen and their families to sit down and have a conversation about what their intended major is and getting properly advised
Right.
in determining the path towards their degree.
Yeah, well, this is exciting. I'm so glad to have you here. So, listen, so they're going to do the application, they're doing the FAFSA, they'll hear back from you, and then so many great things will happen. We're going to talk more about Southern University. We got you guys for the whole show, so
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
thrilled. So thank you for being
Well,
here.
thank you for having me.
This is exciting. So go Jags. We're gonna, we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk more about Southern University. So don't go. We'll be right back in the hot seat with me, Melva Williams, and Southern University.
We'll be right back with more Hot Seat with Melva Williams.
You don't want to miss us on iKoala Radio. It's the hot seat with me, Melva Williams, 5 days a week, 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. on iKoala Radio. It's just music, baby. You don't want to miss this week's hot seat with me, Melva Williams. Our special guest is Chloe Duplessis of the Duplessis Agency. We're going to be talking about her book. It's called Monetize Your Passion, a guide for creative entrepreneurs. You don't want to miss it this week on V45, 10 a.m.
Since 1985, J&S Electronics has served the architects with superior electronics from transistors, resistors, and fuses. We carry HDMI cables and a wide selection of AV cables and connectors. We also have a large supply of batteries and tools to handle your projects. Need Cat 6 or CCTV systems? Call us at 318-631-8675 or come see us today at 6437 Greenwood Road.
Welcome back to the hot seat with me, Melva Williams. We have a very special show today. We're talking all about blue and gold Southern University, right? So if you're making those college decisions, there's only one to make, Southern University in Baton Rouge.
Absolutely.
My new special guest, we had Dr. Brandon Dumas, we had Mr. Raymond Clark, and now we have Mr. Marcus Coleman of Southern University.
Very excited to be here. Happy to be in Shreveport.
Yes, we're glad to
Absolutely.
have you. We are so
the Port
glad.
City.
Yeah, the Port
The
City.
Port City Jags. All right.
And we're trying to get some of these North City Jags to come be
Absolutely.
Southern Jags, right?
Southern University is a great place. Southern University played a very positive impact in my life, and I would encourage any student that's looking for a collegiate home to choose Southern University.
That's right. So, we talked about how to get in, which
Mm-hmm.
is so important. Raymond Clark did a great job about telling students what steps needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk a little bit about some of those high achieving students. You've done everything, you got the grade, you're choosing Southern's.
If you're a student that has gotten a 28 or higher on ACT or a 3.8 GPA coming out of high school, Southern University will offer you a scholarship in some form. It will come, the admissions office will contact you. You may even get a call from the president if you're one of those high achieving students. We're just excited to welcome not only those high achieving students, but any student at Southern University. Students oftentimes struggle with funding.
Yes.
But
yes.
for
Don't
a high-
have the money.
For a high achieving student, that's something you don't need to worry about. All you need to worry about is showing up the first day for move-in day, moving in your dorm and going to class.
Just picking your comforter.
Picking your
Yes,
Get a
that's
good
all-
one.
Yeah.
Get a good one.
That's the
That's
only
gonna
decision
last.
you have
Absolutely.
to make. Okay. Well, wow. Okay, so the high achieving students, they're going to get money, they're going to get in, they're going to have this great experience. So,
and the other piece of it too is to highlight our honors college. Our honors college
wow.
provides a great support system for those high achieving students.
Mm-hmm.
It gives them not only academic encouragement, but it also builds them for the next level. So if they're getting ready to go to grad school, it prepares them for the GRE. They have to write a thesis, so when they get into either their master's, their PhD
Wow.
program, they're used to writing a large paper, so it's not
Yeah.
something that's new to them.
yeah, it won't be formed because Southern University is going to prepare you for the next level in
Absolutely.
life. And of course, having an opportunity to meet people like you and the administrators and the staff and the faculty. I mean, it's just such a place where, you won't be alone.
Right.
And in your next phase in life, you will have that support and be prepared.
Right, it's one of those things that we try to tell both students and their families is that when they come to orientation, that's not the last time you're going to see the faculty, staff, and administration at Southern
Right.
University. You walking around campus every day, you'll see myself or any other person in the Division of Student Affairs walking around. We're actively engaged with our student
Yes.
population. We're up to date with current trends, what was going on with our students, and we just try to keep in touch with them. So when an issue arises or anything happens, they know who they're dealing with.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about housing, because so many people come and they're like, I'm moving from Shreveport to Baton Rouge or wherever, because our market is wide. So they can choose housing. How should they be doing that now?
Right. So once you've been admitted to the university, your next step should be, after, of course, doing your FAFSA and getting your financial aid in order, would be to apply for residence life and housing. Students can do that by visiting the housing website. It's subr.edu/housing.
Okay.
Easy breezy.
Housing.
The fall 2017 application is there. Get that application in as soon as possible because the
Okay.
preferred deadline is May 1. We do fill up.
May 1.
We do fill up, and we do have a waiting list. It's not guaranteed after May 1, and so we try to go down that waiting list as quick as we can, but the preferred deadline is always May 1.
Yeah, and so, and with the new, you guys have new apartment style living,
Absolutely.
so you get your own bedroom and you get to have this nice living space.
Absolutely. Good Southern hospitality. We have three facilities that are designated for freshman students. It's Shade, Toddy, and U.S. Jones Hall. But we also do have the apartment style residence hall. We have 4 of those buildings, and so once you transition out of your freshman year, you can then apply
Great.
to be in one of those apartments. And so
Something to look forward to.
Something to look forward. You get
Yeah.
a kitchen. You can cook like Mama taught you at home.
Okay,
You can
see, I'm ready.
Southern hospitality.
Yeah, Southern hospitality. That's awesome. But living on campus is great because we talked a little bit about that in the earlier segment. I mean, that's how you get the college experience, right?
When I was a student, I lived on campus all 4 years, and you're always abreast of everything, every activity, anything that happens on campus.
Right.
That's the best way to be engaged and involved.
Because
And
you're right there.
You're right there. And if you're a student that's actively involved in the Student Government Association, what better way to be engaged and involved with your students than to live among them?
Yes. Okay, before we go, we got to talk about orientation. So that's where you get to know everything. So tell us a little bit about that.
365 Jaguar orientation is mandatory for all first-time students to the university. That's new freshmen and also transfer students. It takes place throughout the month of July. There are 5 sessions, really 4 sessions that new students can choose from. The first 3 weekends in July are designated for first-time freshmen. There's a session that takes place the last Friday in July that's for transfer and adult students, students
Okay.
that are 24 or older.
Perfect.
And then there's an
Okay.
out-of-state session that takes place right before the semester starts.
Wow. So I'm excited.
We're ready. We're just
ready.
excited about this new class.
So we want some students from Shreveport to have their face in the new class.
We not only want some students, we want all the students from Shreveport.
All the
to come.
students from
Absolutely.
Shreveport
So come
and
to Southern
all of our
University.
come be Southern folks. You don't want to miss it. I mean, it's going to be a great experience.
There's no better experience.
On the bluff.
On the bluff.
With the human jukebox and the dancing dolls and all of the
Absolutely.
activities.
Everything.
Yeah, so thank you for being with me. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. So listen, we're going to put some information down on the screen for you to apply to Southern University. You don't want to miss us on the hot seat next week with me, Melva Williams. We'll see you again.